Probably one of the most common concerns and questions that coaches get are from clients, sometimes women particularly, that can you spot reduce weight in certain areas. So for example, if you have bingo wings, that we would call them, weight hanging down in the certain arms, can you particularly just reduce the weight here by certain exercises opposed to other areas? Now before we look into today's topic, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do have tons of other content and videos on training, nutrition and similar areas of topic here. But without further ado, let's get into it. The topic on spot reduction has been one that's been studied and covered quite considerably over the years. In fact, some studies go back to the 70s on this. Now, what did them studies show? Well, a number of studies pointed towards the fact that spot reduction is actually not possible. Now, some of the earlier studies showed different study groups. One in particular took a group of people that would it was an arm exercise on one side of the arm. So they would do essentially like a preacher curl or a cable bicep curl for one period of the arm. While they monitored this for 12 weeks, they then went back and measured each one's arm. Now the thought behind this would be that if spot reduction is possible through certain exercise and being in a caloric deficit, that you would see then a reduction of fat in one arm prior to the other. In all of the control groups, that wasn't the case. No difference of fat reduction in the arm whatsoever. So this would all point to the fact that spot reduction is not possible. But there was one recent study done in Rome. Now this study actually proved otherwise. They had their participants yet again doing single leg or single arm exercises. Now what they did was after every session, they would then go on and do light aerobics for about 30 minutes. For example, some steady state cardio on the bike or walking or the stepper. After the 12 weeks, they monitored fat reduction. And it turns out that the groups that did train single exercise on single arms and single legs did actually have less fat deposits in one arm and one leg. However, this has only ever been replicated once in a study. As always, as a coach, I would always look for the actual hands-on field experience and my actual hand experience on this. So if you're someone who wants to spot reduce a certain area, so I had this asked by a friend recently, and she was concerned with fat deposits focusing on the lower stomach area. Now the idea was that was it possible to reduce fat just there because she was happy enough with everywhere else in her body. Generally, the approach for this would be just to decrease your calories. This happens all the time, especially during prep and dieting, if you're shredding out for a photo shoot or prep. Some areas of the body lag. So it turns out that usually when you're gaining weight, you tend to gain weight bottom up. But when you're losing weight, it tends to be top down. So the last places to go tend to be the likes of your legs, your hips, your stomach. And in the first places you see it tend to be shoulders, neck, that kind of thing. Right, them stubborn areas of fat deposits they're holding in certain areas. Again, a lot of it can be, sex-based. Females hold weights in different areas. It could be difference in hormone profiles, metabolism, that kind of thing. But ultimately, if there are areas of your body that there's weight holding on to that you don't want it to be, it probably is the case that you just need to lower your calories even further down. That's always been the most simplistic approach, and it's always been the winning approach, and it's always been the approach that's actually worked. Trust me, you may feel stubborn at the minute. You may look down your body and go, I can't seem to shift this tiny little layer of fat in my stomach. I can't seem to shift the tiny little layer of fat around my legs. Patience. Ensure every week your weight is coming down by at least a pound and a pound and a half on the scales. As long as that's happening, you're getting closer and closer to that goal. But ensure that weight continues to drop. If the weight doesn't continue to drop and stagnates, then you're gonna need to continuously lower the calories, and I promise you it will eventually happen. This isn't complicated science. This is what the body does. You reduce the calories and it will reduce the fat. Where exercises are concerned, is there any exercises you can do for certain area parts to build that up or reduce it? You could very well try exercise and then do light aerobics like the study in Rome did show, but again, take that with a pinch of salt. The most simplistic, basic way approach would be just to lower the calories more. That would be the most simplest way. It's always good to do weight training because you're gonna burn a lot more calories and a lot more weight with more muscle on your body, but that's not gonna really reduce a certain area by any means. Again, unfortunately, you're probably not more gonna hear this. It's gonna be all to do with what you consume. Anyway, I've been Connor from the Orcs Den. Please do like and subscribe if you like the video, and comment below any questions you have, coaching related, and I'll try to get back to all of them. Anyway, I'll see you next time.